At 6:30, the quake has now claimed the lives of at least 4 people.
The strong quake shook much of southern Mexico this morning around 8 o'clock. Here's a closer look at where it happened. The deaths occurred in the Pacific state of Guerrero. The epicenter was in a rural area about 190 miles south of Mexico City and 90 miles east of the resort city of Acapulco. The mayor of Igualapa says nearly all of the buildings in his town are now damaged.
That quake, 7.3 quake, occurred along an active fault zone considered long overdue for a shaker. News 8's Jody Hammond says today's quake comes at a time when Mexico is just preparing to mark the 10th anniversary of the worst quake in the nation's history.
The quake lasted for nearly a minute and left this tower swaying in the mile-high Mexican capital. But there were no reports of serious damage or injury in Mexico City. Electricity was knocked out for a time. A radio-activated seismic alarm system alerted residents of the world's most crowded city that the quake was on the way, and many were able to run to safety before the shaking started. The head of Tijuana's Civil Protection Unit says there have been no calls for outside assistance to the quake area. For a while, phone service within Mexico City was disrupted because of the quake, and then anxious relatives trying to call into the Mexican capital from the rest of the country didn't have much luck either. But now that phone service has been restored. 10 years ago, nearly to the day, it was a very different story. An 8.1 earthquake flattened buildings and took 6,000 lives in the Mexican capital. Dr. Francisco Bucio was trapped in the rubble of a hospital for 4 days, losing 4 fingers on his right hand. Thanks to 2 transplanted toes to replace the fingers he lost, Dr. Bucio is a successful Tijuana plastic surgeon. He's thankful this latest quake was not a repeat of 10 years ago.
Every year you just remember and remember all your dead friends who perished there, and that just wish that nothing like that can happen again.
But seismologists say the same area can expect another major quake, magnitude 7 or greater, within a few weeks. Joe Hammond, News 8.
One result of the killer quake 10 years ago, the country reorganized its whole emergency response system, and a variety of civilian agents now form a cooperative network when there's a disaster instead of depending solely on the Mexican military.